Okay, so here we have another building. It's been done over, but part of it is original still. This used to be the Marine Hotel originally. It's a very popular hotel for especially ships that come in and they stay in the harbor for a day or two. People would used to come and sleep here as opposed to any other hotel in town, because this was the hotel that stank the least. With the ventilation and sewage system, they kept most of the smell out of the building. They had the sewage run down into a room underneath the hotel, and from there on it just went into another gutter. But it kept the smell out, okay? You'll see the grey walls, those are all new. Originally, that would have been a veranda going in about 3 to 4 meters, and only then you would get the rooms. It was a very beautiful building, but with modernization, we lost some of it. Thank you. And we'll be going just a little bit down the street to Searles Manor, and then we'll talk a bit further. Right, so here we have Searles Manor. This is a very beautiful building, very well restored. It's called Searles Manor because the owner was Charles Searles Sr. He was basically the father of Great Brak, a little town just east of Mossel Bay. He had a company called Searles Merchants, and they were really big. They had the potential of being South Africa's first chain store. 30 years before there was a chain store in South Africa. He was actually a nobody coming from England with the settlers program in 1856. He got a tender at the Great Brak River toll gate, and then it was just the toll gate there, nothing else. And with the money he made there, he bought a farm, set up a shop, started leatherworking, built a shoe factory that's still there today, and he basically built the whole town of Great Brak. This was his Mossel Bay branch. The shop was underneath, and above he had flats that he rented out. And at the back of the building, he also built a block of flats that he rented out. His sons took over. The youngest son, he was a car enthusiast, and this was actually the first place in South Africa where a motor vehicle was assembled. They went really big, and then when the grandchildren took over, the whole business just folded because they grew up with money. They didn't grow up with this hustle attitude. So the whole business just folded in on each other, but they had branches everywhere before that. We're still at the Searles building, and what I like about this piece is that if you make this road up here, if you make it a dirt road, this is exactly what you'll see 120 years ago. And in the middle of the building, there's a doorway, but you'll notice the doorway is a little way off the ground. That was for ox wagons coming down the hill, and they would just stop next to the door, shuffle the things into the door and go on their way. They were really lazy back then. We'll continue down to the customs building and the Mossel Bay boating company, which is just down the street. Okay, so here we have this is the old customs building. Anything that came from the harbor first had to be taxed, and then it can go into the mainland. It's still being used today with the South African Revenue Service as their customs building. Another interesting thing of this building, ox wagons. It's a long thing. It's 3 meters, 4 meters wide, and then you've got the 8 or the 12 oxen in front of it. And usually the drivers, when they go around the corners, they drive into the buildings. They cut the corners. That's why they put these here. We call this a wagon stone. This was just put on the corners to prevent the ox wagons from running into the building. And you can still see a lot of them in South Africa today, especially in towns that had high ox wagon traffic. Craft has a lot, East London. As you travel through South Africa, you know what to look for and you can spot them. We'll be going just across the street to the Mossel Bay Boating Company.